All right, here we go. Watch this video for Thursday, July 19th. SPY pretty narrow range again today, but it's kind of flirting with trying to break out of this range it's in. Pretty strong market. Slide a few highlights over. I think this PM was yesterday. As somebody who logs in occasionally, and I will say you might read this and then they go on to say they made $5,000. I think this was from yesterday. Yeah, it says the 17th. In NG, TRCO, GBR, and PED, and I replied, way to go. I blocked out the name because it was a private message. You might read that and think, well, why would they only log in occasionally if they do that well? I think a lot of that has to do with our lifetime membership. We have people that can get a weekday off here or there, or their jobs are a couple days off during the week. We have a lot of teachers that trade through the summer, but the lifetime membership, they don't have any recurring payments, and they're able to do that. So that's, in my opinion, that's why someone would say they log in occasionally. That lifetime membership, if you look down below, is back, but only for people that are subscribed or watch us on YouTube or find it on StockTwits. Anyway, it's only available through the link below. It's not available. If you just went to the website, you would not be able to find it. Another highlight from today, I called BIOC 624 with a 599 stop worst case. BIOC had done this all day, just nothing, but it was a recent high flyer. You can kind of see how high it was. Just these are 5-minute candles. So back here just a few days ago, thing was over 10 bucks. Remember that huge run? Well, then it did nothing the next day, and it's real quiet today. And my idea was just basically an opening range breakout. Look at the volume that comes in. So 624, we got through $7 in about 15 or 20 minutes. And that's just an example. The reason I wrote this is it's true. Not all setups are complicated. Sometimes it is as simple as a recent high flyer that's been quiet for a few days and an opening range breakout. There's no MACD crossover. There's none of that nonsense. It's just a simple, clean setup, and did really well on that one. And also wanted to share this because I tweeted this earlier. I signed up with you guys a while ago. First started trading almost a year ago, but didn't understand a damn thing, so I left, went out, spent more money on courses, chats, etc. And now I'm back, and everything you teach makes sense. And they said, check this out, and they showed me a few trades that they made today. All of them were very nice. All of them were calls from our room. But the reason I want to show this is I've been doing this since 2004. I've been running this chat room since 2004, and it's not that uncommon that somebody will log in one day, and maybe they signed up last night and they don't log in till noon today, right? So they log in and there's nothing going on, and they just immediately go, your chat room sucks. You know, I didn't make any money, or a morning gap play that they didn't understand why we were taking it or anything. You know, we're on the mic in the mornings, and you have to. We have a daily Q&A every day at 11:30. I ask, okay, send your questions in. Actually, before 11:30, and I go over them at 11:30. And oftentimes, if someone says, well, I didn't understand anything, those people didn't ask any questions. So I point this out to say somebody actually left the room without asking any questions, without taking our course. They just, logged in, said, I don't understand what these people are doing, logged out. And then now they came back after buying other courses and stuff, and they get it. So you have to take ownership. If you want to be a day trader, don't log into any site expecting them to spoon feed you entries and exits, and you don't even need to know why. You just want to make the money. That person, whoever's making those calls for you, even if they make great calls, they get hit by a truck, then where are you? Then you're having to go back to work, right? So you need to understand the why. And we teach all of that. All right? You need to understand the why of all these setups. So anyway, here is what I'm watching tomorrow. PED put in an inside day today after this huge day. Then it put in an inside day. I actually did make a call in this one in the room. Let me get after hours off there. I was doing a little after hours possible trading today. I never did get filled, but I was trying to trade after hours. PED did, chop sideways all day. Then it breaks through the highs. A little extra volume there. And then it flags. And so when it looked like this, I pointed out, I said, hey, I'm watching this PED flag. In other words, if it breaks this flag, I'm long. I got along right there as it was breaking the flag. Had a really nice afternoon. And I already showed you what was the other trade, the BIOC. Okay, so PED, back to the daily here. It's been really strong, right? Keep in mind, it's already had a big run from $1.50. Yesterday hit almost $3.50. Then today gaps down a little bit, but relatively strong. So we're going to watch it again because today is just inside of yesterday's range. There might be a nice breakout through 3 for all we know, right? We don't know, but we're going to watch it. MTSL, this is a weird chart, right? A lot of spikes and a lot of reversals, and it's not like I look at this chart and go, this is a clean trader. But As a day trader, this makes really nice moves at times. And I'll give you an example. Wayne called this today. Actually, Janet and Wayne teamed up on this one. Both of them spotted a big seller after it looked like this. These are 5-minute candles. A big seller at 250. If we take that seller out, oftentimes that's a powerful catalyst, especially if there's another catalyst on the chart above. You hear me talk about stacked catalysts all the time. So Janet and Wayne's idea, and they both posted it in the room before it triggered, was over the 250 seller. If you look to the left, it had already hit 255 earlier. So you take that seller out, knowing it's a catalyst, 255 gets taken out, and then you light up the new high of day ticker on a stock that ran from $1.50 to almost $6.50 the other day. But don't forget that it did this too. This is what makes this stock so crazy for both sides, longs and shorts. Anyway, there's the 250 break right there. And then it ends up going up through 350 without really much of a pullback. So they really teamed up on this one. And because it makes these moves, and I'll go back to 5-minute candles real quick, it certainly just kind of meandered lower the rest of the day. It was untradeable if you were trying to take trades in it. But this powerful move is where our chat room got involved, right here at the beginning of it, thanks to Janet and Wayne. Because it makes these moves, as a day trader, it would almost be irresponsible not to have this on a chart tomorrow. Having said that, I can't say that, ooh, I love it at this price or anything like that. Staff, S-T-A-F, had a huge move, 4 or 5 days lower, and then a big pop today. Kind of challenging these little bounce highs here around 360. Today it actually hit 365, but it settled in all the way down to 305. So, you know, kind of like MTSL, I'm going to have it on a chart, but I'm not in love with the daily at the moment. It feels a little bit ahead of itself, but it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. ARNC, I took 2 trades in this one. One today, and one of them I made, I don't know, a few $100, and the other one I took flat. Just killed it where I bought it. I don't have patience for slow-moving stocks, but this is still, after the gap up the other day, it topped out at 1980. Had really good news, several good news blurbs, right? It's a thick stock. It's 400-something million in the float, but it's absolutely worth watching. The news here, it sold off that day, but it's worked its way right back up. It's certainly interesting over 1980. Maybe it gets up into this gap, or, you know, maybe takes out 20 after that. Who knows? But I'm going to watch it. It's definitely a slow mover. MTBC. As I'm talking, I'm going to correct it because on my notes I had it wrong. MTBC. I had MBTC or something. Anyway, this one, a little bit of extra volume today. It's interesting to me. It topped out right at 5. So whole number, inflection points. If you haven't seen our free webinars on trading inflection points, there's a link below the video for all of our free webinars. And trading inflection points video are webinar 1 and trading inflection points 2. Both those webinars are our most popular, most watched ones, and we get a lot of thank yous for those. So check them out if you're bored. MTBC popped back here in October up to 544, and now it's put in a lower high right at $5. So we'll see. We'll see if it gives us a clean setup, but it's certainly interesting through 5, and it might trade for 2 weeks in a range and then break 5. So I don't know. Just keep this one on your radar. INNT had a huge sell-off the other day. It opened that day at 1686 and went down on an intraday basis all the way to 765. Then another red day and another red day. You've got great support back here now, and this thing, if you want to think about it, I don't know what, 3 weeks ago it was almost $30. So I absolutely think this is worth watching for a potential bounce tomorrow. CODA. This is a bounce play that I like a little bit less because it gapped up and then sold off the next day, sold off again today. And the reason I don't love this kind of bounce play is everybody from the gap up that got excited about the news is pretty much underwater, right? Anyone that's still holding. So, but there is a little bit of a bottoming tail today. Let's go to 15-minute candles. I don't know. It's kind of interesting over today's high. I would note that it only traded 470,000 today, so we'll be careful with that one. And then another bounce play, Gene, G-E-N-E, kind of the same thing as CODA. Gapped up, ripped, but then reversed, and then you got a couple red days. But a little bit of bottoming tails down here below $1.30, so it's finding some buying here. So I kind of like it back through maybe today's high over 135. I'm not in love with this list, but you know, between this and adding morning gap plays to our list in the pre-market tomorrow, we should find plenty to trade. Had a really nice day today. Again, check out the special links below. There's some neat stuff below, and I'm going to quit out, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good night.